Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Gauranga balite habe phulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite na yane babini
Gauranga bolite habe phulaka sharira Hari bolite yane babini
আর কবে নিতাই চন্দের করুণা হইবে সংসার বাসনা মন কবে তুচ্ছ হবে বিষয়াচরিয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হাম হেরাব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন বিষয়াচরিয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হাম হেরাব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন রূপরাগুণাত পদে হইবে আকুতি আখবে হামা বুঝা বলছে যুগল প্রীতি রূপরাগুণাত পদে হইবে আকুতি কবে হাম বুঝাব সে যুগল ফেরিতি রূপরাগুণাত পদে রাহু মরয়াস প্রার্থনা করো এই সদা নারোত্তম দাস
Paragonata Pade Rahumora Asha Adana Karaye Naroda Madata
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai, Nitai, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai, Nitai, Nitai Gauranga. Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Shri Advaita Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Gadadhara Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Shri Shivasa Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara, Guru Parampara. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurudmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Trishe Namah Nityanandam Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalamashanashaya Janava Pataye Namah Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Brindai Tulsi Debai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Ashtottara Sata Sri Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Ashtottara Sata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa, Ashtottara Sata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer my Dandavat pranams to the lotus feet of all of my Sri Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga. And I offer my Dandavat pranams to all of the Vaishnavas and to all of the Vaishnavis. So I'm going to read chapter 7 of the Secret Truths of the Bhagavatam lecture series of Gurudev's, because I want to cover particularly the section where Gurudev starts to explain why Krishna didn't return to Vrindavan. Just like, what are the reasons for Krishna descending into this world? So many. And similarly, there's many reasons why Krishna didn't return to Vrindavan. At least not outwardly stated, although we know that ultimately he did, after killing Dantavakra. Okay, but that's stated in the commentaries of our acharyas. So now, Srila Gurudev, this lecture is titled, Come With Me to Vrindavan. Prior to this lecture, Gurudev had chapter 3, which is titled The Process of Hearing. Chapter 4, Krishna and the Gopis. Chapter 5, Krishna leaves Vrindavan. Chapter 6, the fortune of the gopis, and chapter 7, come with me to Vrindavan. So the first topic in this lecture is pure happiness. Pure happiness. So Gurudev is telling, come with me to Vrindavan and Mathura. Come with me to Vrindavan and Mathura. Very often Gurudev would say like this in his lectures, because he is there. When he's speaking about these topics, he's there in Vrindavan, internally and externally also. He never leaves Vrindavan. So, and sometimes Gurudev would say like this, when he would introduce a topic, and he would invite everyone, come with me to Vrindavan. We're going to now go to Vrindavan. And then he says, concentrate your mind. You want to come to Vrindavan? Concentrate your mind. Now Gurudev is going to talk about the general principle about this material world in relation to Vrindavan and pure happiness. So Gurudev says, amongst all the human beings in this world, all the human beings in this world, taking the most prestigious, topmost, wealthy, billionaire, trillionaires, doesn't matter. Amongst all the human beings in this world, no one, not one single one of them is happy or satisfied. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? That this is the fact? No, you don't believe it. You still think, oh, look at all this stuff on the internet. It looks like so many people are enjoying so much happiness, sense gratification, and the more money they have, the more happiness they get. But Gurudev is pointing out, no, that's not a fact. What is the true fact? That among all the human beings in this world, not one is happy or satisfied. Then he says, you may be living in America. You may be today's richest person. Or you may be making so much money. Your house, it may be full of all kinds of comforts and opulent paraphernalia. You may have a very beautiful wife, and perhaps after being married for 1 or 2 years, you have selected a new wife. You may also have very good and qualified children, as well as 2, 3, 4, or 5 dogs. You know why Gurudev mentions dogs? Because Gurudev traveled all over the world, outside of India. In India, it's rare to see someone who has got a pet dog that lives in their house and all of that. It's very rare. We can see right here, as I look from my veranda down to there's this family. I've been watching this dog family, and there's new ones every year. More than once a year, there's new ones. And they're a little small, then they start growing up and so forth. I have my three-legged dog also. But they don't have a house. Are they allowed to go inside of the house? The person that feeds them calls them, and wherever they are, they come, they eat. But they sleep on the street, on the cement. And then they also, if it's raining or whatever, they find some place to sleep under. And they think they're happy because I see them. You know, during the day, dogs are mostly sleeping or eating. Because during the night they're guarding. They think that they're guarding. But they're also sleeping, partially, and guarding. This is the life of a dog. But a person who's on a very high level in human society of wealth, opulence, strength, fame, like Bhagavan, they think they have a lot. But it's such an illusion. It's such an illusion. They think that they're the president of North Korea, the supreme leader. I saw a little short documentary, how this person lives. And he looks like a slob. He looks like a stupid slob, that's all. But if you read about him, he is controlling all the wealth. And he lets his people in North Korea starve. Such a jerk. But, those who are loyal to him, they even cry and weep. Fake tears, of course. But they learn how to cry and weep. Because if they don't cry and weep when he's leaving, then they get penalized. Or even shot. But the point is that what will happen to this person in this Korean big fat slob body? What will happen to him? Within just a very short period of time, he's going to leave that body. And he's going to go down into lower species for a very, very long time. Millions and millions and billions of births and deaths. Did he gain anything actually? Zero. He did not gain any more than the dogs gained living on the street. But he thinks, this is the illusion, I've made it to the topmost position. So why is Gurudev talking about this? Because he wants to put everything into perspective for us. So then Gurudev says, everything may be okay. Everything may be okay. But still, so many problems come. What does this big North Korea leader have problems? He's got to have dozens of bodyguards continually. Every single move that he makes has to be secretive. Okay? Because he can die at any moment, be assassinated. So Gurudev says that even if someone is thinking, everything is okay, but still, so many problems, they come. Everyone is suffering. Those who are rich, they suffer more than anyone. Why? Why do the rich people suffer more than anyone? Give me some factual reasons why the rich people suffer more than anyone.
They're always going to lose or someone steal, they have constant anxiety.
Yeah, there's anxiety and paranoia. Somebody will come and steal and take it away from me. Somebody will push me out of my position and take my position. But what else? What else are they suffering from? You know that in the material world, when a person does not have certain happiness, they're poor or whatever, then they look at the persons that have that happiness. They have money, they can do like this. But when you've got all the wealth and you try to enjoy it, then you suffer a lot. Because you realize that just because you could afford these and these and these different types of sense gratification of all varieties, did it really make you happy? No. I watched a video of a very well-known person. He made a big fortune by gambling. He's like originally Iranian, but born in America. And the guy is just he tried to the utmost limit to enjoy his senses with millions of dollars in every single way, shape, and form, especially with the opposite sex, having tons and tons and tons of sex. Did it make him happy? No. He admitted that eventually it just got monotonous. He stopped. And he stopped having multiple partners because it wasn't making him happy. And on top of all that, he was totally intoxicated all the time, and he became an addict. He became addicted to, different types of intoxication. Heavy. Addicted to sex life and everything else that goes with that. But he didn't become happy. The guy was thinking he's going to run for president of the United States, So Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he used to bring up different topics that he read in the newspaper to his disciples in his lectures to show how people suffer, especially through marital relationships that break apart, and there's many murders because now they're bereft and now they just murder the person. Okay? The majority of the murders that go on throughout the world are because of these broken relationships and hatred and all of that, you see. So in this way, Gurudev is telling everyone is suffering, and those who are rich, they suffer more than anyone. So this life is full of miseries, problems, difficulties, sorrows, sufferings, and diseases. No one is free from tasting the varieties of suffering. No. I think that there are so many rich people among you. Gurudev is pointing to his devotee audience in Badger, where there's usually 400 devotees. Okay? And Gurudev is saying, I think that there are so many rich people among you. But can any of you raise your hand and say, I have never had any problem? Can you say, I am without problems and am always happy? Can you say that? You rich people, can you? This morning, one of you told me that you were sick. So in this world, no one is happy, whether he be a king, a prime minister, a president, or anything else. No one is happy. All jivas, they want happiness. What kind of happiness? Pure happiness. They want pure happiness. But that desire is absurd in this Maya samsara, this material world. To want pure happiness, that is absurd. Because you're in the Maya samsara. We always want happiness to come to us. But as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 11th canto, 3rd chapter, 18th verse, Sri Prabuddha Uvacha, Karmanya Rambamananam Dukkha Hatyai Sukhaya Cha Pashyet Paka Vivaryasam Mituni Charinam Rinam. He's saying that the living entities in this material world, they are accepting the roles of male and female in human society. And in this way, the conditioned souls unite in sexual relationships. And thus, they constantly make material endeavors to eliminate their unhappiness and to unlimitedly increase their pleasure. That's what they're doing. But one should see, one should observe that inevitably they achieve exactly the opposite result. Inevitably. In other words, their happiness inevitably vanishes. And as they grow older, their material discomfort increases. I can attest to that. Yes, indeed. All of us who are oldies, we can attest to that. Even if our constitution kind of was able to preserve certain traits of youthfulness, we stayed in good shape and this and that. But will that last? Will it last right up to the final moment? No, because there are 4 things that happen to us every single birth in the material world. Do you know what those 4 sufferings, material miseries are? Do you know what they are? What? Yeah. Janma, birth, mrityu, old age. Sorry, mrityu, death. So birth and death. Cannot avoid. And then while you're in the body, then old age comes. No one can stop it. The Western civilization, wow, they have really gone all out to try to stop old age. Even the billionaire trillionaires, but when you look at them, Rockefeller or any of these people, they look disgustingly miserable from their old age. Even though they could afford getting organ transplants and doing whatever. But could they stop old age from coming to them? No, no one has, no one has, no one ever will in this material middle planetary systems. If you want to stop old age, then you have to go to Svargaloka. But you also can't stay there. You can stay for some time, and you won't have to grow old while you're there. But death doesn't come in the same way. It just ends your habitation there. Your habitation there has to end. And then you have to come back down here. But materialistic people, they're so enamored by the conception of going to heaven. In Hinduism, they have the whole conception of going to Svargaloka and living like demigods and all that. But they're so unintelligent that they don't realize the fact that they're going to have to again come down. And Krishna says that directly in the beginning 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Kshine punye martyalokam vishanti. That means that the pious activities that they did, the punya that they did, which enabled them to go there, kshine punye means it now diminishes. Just like when you spend money, you have X amount of money and you spend it, then gradually it comes down to 0. You see? So in the same way, you can stay there in the heavenly planets for a certain length of time depending on how much of your punya that brought you there. But then kshine punye, after that has diminished, Martyalokam Vishanti. You have to again come back down to Martyaloka where you die. This is Martyaloka, where everyone dies. Heavenly planets, they don't actually undergo what we call death. Like they grow old and then they die. No. In the heavenly planets, they've been able to avoid death in that sense. But they can't avoid getting kicked out from there and having to fall back down to here. And take birth here again in human society. So Sri Prabuddha Uvacha. Prabuddha, one of the Navayogendras, the 9 sons of Maharaj Rishabdev. They're very, very highly realized saintly persons, and each one of them speaks in the beginning of the 11th canto, and they give instructions to Maharaj Nimi. So here, he is making a very straightforward point, that the living entities here on this plane, they enter into the roles. They play roles. Oh, I'm a female. Oh, I'm a male. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was, in an interesting way, it made an impression on me. Recently I read this in his katha. It's not that just the jiva takes birth in a male or a female body, which we know is like a dress for the soul. But while in that body and entering into that body, guess what accompanies that? Your subtle body, which is now fully absorbed in the identity of your gross body being female or male. And that's unavoidable. Unless one realizes I'm not this body. Then they can rise above that. But still, the conditioned souls perceive themselves to be male or female. But we've worn these dresses millions and millions of times. So, the jivas in this world, they accept these roles. They're playing a role. Oh yes, I'm a woman, I'm a man. And therefore, then they come together and they unite together in sexual relationships. And thus, in this way, they constantly make material endeavors to eliminate their unhappiness and to unlimitedly increase their pleasure. But one should see that they inevitably achieve exactly the opposite result. Did they increase their pleasure unlimitedly? No. Did they eliminate their unhappiness? No. They achieved the opposite result. So in other words, the conclusion of what he's saying is, in other words, their happiness inevitably vanishes. And as they grow older, their material discomfort increases. So, Gurudev is saying that, quoting this verse, now he's telling that everyone in the world tries for happiness, either alone or with the association of wife, a husband, an entire family, or others. And sometimes they associate with members of the United Nations who cannot check and stop war, although they may try. Actually, they want to start war. So because the members themselves in the United Nations, they have so many problems. So how can they solve the problems of others? So it is therefore stated in the Vedic literatures, Vedic scriptures, that although we try for happiness, our suffering is so strong that it keeps its feet on our head, and we are forcibly bound to taste it. Can you have a remedy to help you escape from old age? Gurudev is asking. You have a remedy to help you escape from old age? You know, one of the biggest preoccupations of ordinary mundane people is they like to look at the lives of celebrity people who have beauty and fame and money and all of this kind of thing. But in their lives, they're always suffering. They like to advertise that, especially on the newspaper stands in the supermarkets. I don't even know if they still do that nowadays, but that's how they sell their newspapers, because people want to hear. And that makes the ordinary people feel kind of, yeah, okay, so they have everything, but still they're suffering, you see. So Gurudev is saying, can you have a remedy to help you escape from old age? They're trying Do you know what they all do? Plastic surgery of their face. And it's interesting to watch the celebrities when you see the transformation from when they were in their 20s and now they're in their 60s or 70s, right? And then you have a plastic surgeon telling you exactly for each stage. They have like a photo of them. Oh, they had this done, and they had their cheeks done, and they had this. And sometimes it goes wrong. Sometimes it makes them look quite ugly. So they try plastic surgery to cover up the fact that they're growing old. But do poor people do that? No. They just accept their body the way it is. Nothing they can do about it. Of course, they try to put on makeup. Nice eyeliner. Oh, and nice lipstick. And creams. And powders. And to disguise the fact that they don't look very beautiful. Okay? So this is what is going on. But Gurudev is saying that there isn't any remedy to help you escape from old age. Never. There's no remedy to help you escape from death. Never. Everyone wants to be happy. But will you become happy just by merely wanting to be happy? Everyone wants to be happy. But just by wanting to be happy, is that going to make you happy? Never. And at the same time, it cannot be said that people are always unhappy and without even a little happiness. You can't say that. The people, they're always, every single moment of their life, they're always unhappy, and there's not even a little tiny bit of happiness. Gurudev is saying you can't say that either. Happiness is there, but it is very small. Very small. And it passes very quickly. And then again, suffering and problems come like waves. Crashing on the beach. The ocean waves come again and again. So we think that, we will solve this problem and then we will be happy. This is what we think. That we'll solve this problem and then we will be happy. Right? Because the problem is making us unhappy. But if I solve that problem, then I will be happy. So Gurudev is saying, we're thinking like this. In the meantime, though, we see that even bigger problems have come. Oh, I have this problem. Okay, I'm going to solve that problem. And then I'll become happy. But what happens in the meantime, as you're trying to solve that problem, bigger problems even more come. And you know, there's not a single one of us in the human society that can say that I did it. No. Everyone failed. But those who have tons of money, like I already said, they think that they've achieved it. But it's ephemeral. It just disappears very quickly. Because there's no way through sense gratification that you can actually become truly happy. No. Now, on the day of your marriage, you can see here in India, they make a really big thing out of marriage. Big marching bands and decorations and loud booming speakers playing music, and they love it. marriage. So on the day of your marriage, you see your new bride. The man see, oh, look at my new bride. Because the bride is decorated so beautifully, wearing beautiful clothing, everything. And when you see your new bride, then you think, oh, very beautiful, very beautiful. The next day, however, you see that she wants ornaments. Huh? Ornaments, rings, bracelets, necklaces, all she wants ornaments, and also many other things. And moreover, she will try to control you by saying, you should not love anyone else. Or she will say to you, you have to do as I say. So in this way, so many problems arise. So many problems arise. Huh? Now, so in this world, there is no pure happiness. There is no pure happiness in this world. Somehow, we want pure happiness. Pure happiness certainly exists. This is what most people should learn about in the human society, that you want pure happiness, you can't find it here, but it does exist. Pure happiness does exist. Huh? But it does not exist in this world. No. A happiness that is beyond this world, that type of happiness is called Brahmananda. That means the bliss of Brahman, the eternal existence of the soul. The happiness that a jiva can taste within himself when he attains mukti, salvation. That's called Brahmananda. In Brahmananda, there is no distress at all. But Brahmananda also is not pure. It's not pure. It is not a positive condition. It is a negative condition. So what do I mean, Gurudev is saying? What do I mean by that it's a negative condition? It's not a positive condition. Here's an example Gurudev is giving, that if one man catches hold of another man and he goes to choke him, then the captured person, they cry out, "Save me, save me!" And just as he is about to die, someone may come and save him. Just as he's about to die, someone may come and they may save him. And then he stands up, he takes several deep breaths, and he gasps, "I have been saved. Now I have been saved." So this is like salvation, like mukti, the happiness of Brahmananda. Liberation from suffering, it is not positive happiness. Just to be liberated from the suffering, that is not positive happiness. Only a devotee who is surrendered to Krishna can be happy. Only a devotee who is surrendered to Krishna can be happy. But this devotee who is surrendered to Krishna and is actually happy, you know what? He'll never say that he is happy. What will he say? "Oh, I have a very big problem. Why am I alive? Why am I not dying due to being bereft of Krishna's darshan. That's what a pure devotee feels. So then Gurudev says, if you serve Krishna, that is real happiness. That is real happiness. So Krishna is the embodiment of what? Ananda. Spiritual bliss. His body is made of that. Now you may think, oh, I am Purnananda. I'm full of happiness, Ananda. I am Brahman. I am spirit. You may think. But if you do not follow Krishna, if you are not serving, chanting, and remembering Him, you cannot be happy in any way. So this positive happiness, it is not called Brahmananda. It is called Prem. Prem. Love and affection, not Brahmananda. This pure happiness, positive happiness, is called Prem, love and affection for Krishna. And there are many kinds of Prem. So Gurudev has started his final lecture with that theme. Why is he telling this to the audience of devotees who are in front of him? Why, after traveling all over the world, coming to Badger year after year, why is he telling this to his audience, of his devotee audience? Yeah.
Because you can see they're still not detached from material life.
Yes.
Even after 40 years.
Yeah. They're not detached from their material life, their family. Even Gurudev looks and sees that some of them also have their pet dogs. Yeah, big dogs. Gurudev would know them. Particularly there in the mountains, you kind of need a dog because bears can come, and so the dog can keep it away. But then you have this dog, and now you become attached to the dog. So Gurudev is telling this to the audience of his devotees. Many of them, they're also quite senior. They've been devotees for a few decades. But he's seeing that they're not becoming detached. So one time Gurudev addressed his audience of devotees. I was there. And I can remember that Gurudev looked at everyone and he said, I'm very worried for all of you. I'm worried for all of you. Because I'm seeing that detachment is not coming in your life. Detachment is not coming in your life. I'm seeing this, I'm observing this, and I'm understanding that detachment is not coming in your lives. Then Gurudev said, why? Gurudev explained, he said, the reason that detachment is not coming, or rather he put it in a different way. He said, detachment is not coming in your lives because you're not doing bhakti. There's no other way to actually become detached in this world other than the pathway of Uttama Bhakti, pure bhakti. Only through that can we actually become detached from this world. Even if we're living with our family members and so forth, only through bhakti, what will come? Janayatiyashu vairagyam jnanam cha yad ahoitukam. Causelessly it will come if we're doing bhakti to Krishna. Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. If we're doing bhakti yoga to Krishna, then automatically detachment and realization, knowledge, it will come. So Gurudev said, I am seeing you're not becoming detached, and what that is telling is that you're not doing bhakti. So Gurudev would come again and again to try to instill bhakti. This whole lecture series is Gurudev's, heroic attempt to extricate the devotees from this illusion. Because they're devotees, but their bhakti and everything has become very weak. So therefore they become in illusion and attachment and so forth. So now Gurudev goes into the topic that actually Krishna manifests himself in the form of what? The Shastras. The Shastras. That's Krishna. Now Gurudev is going to explain this. Gurudev is telling that real happiness is to serve Krishna. Real happiness is to serve Krishna with love and affection of the gopis. The kind of love and affection that the gopis have for Krishna. This is real happiness. To serve Krishna with this kind of love and affection. By serving him, they experience so much pure ananda. Really, this is the love and affection that we want. But we do not know what it is. So for those who want to be happy, Krishna has transformed into the Shastra. Did you know that? Krishna has transformed into Shastra. For those who want to be happy, Krishna has transformed into Shastra. In other words, he has manifested himself as Shastra. And in the Shastra, it is written, if you follow my instructions, you can have that kind of love and affection. That's the message that is written in the Shastras, which is actually Krishna himself. And among all Shastras, Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amala Shastra. Amala means pure, spotless scripture. Amala. The Shastra, this Srimad Bhagavatam is the Shastra that you can rely upon and you can believe in. It cannot cheat you. It cannot cheat you because it is the embodiment of Krishna himself. Srimad Bhagavatam. Now all Shastras, they state the following. All the Shastras are telling that by chanting, by remembering, and performing bhakti to Krishna, to Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, then Krishna will be happy. All the Shastras are telling this. That by this chanting, remembering, performing bhakti to Krishna, to Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, then Krishna will be happy. And then certainly you will also be happy. If you try to be happy separately, you cannot. That he's already told. But if you try to make Krishna happy, you will automatically become happy. But the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says something that appears somewhat different than this. It says in Srimad Bhagavatam, O Jivas, you have no power. You will never have the qualifications to serve Krishna. You are powerless. You will not be able to call him. Srimad Bhagavatam is telling these. O Jivas, you have no power. You will never have the qualifications to serve Krishna. You are powerless. You will not be able to call Krishna. All the Shastras have explained that you should remember and call out to Krishna. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama Iva Kevalam, Kaloa Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyata. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way but by chanting the holy names. That's all. Now this has been stated in the Brihad Naradiya Purana, in the Vishnu Purana and in other Puranas, but not in Srimad Bhagavatam. All Shastras are saying that you should do bhajan of Krishna. All Shastras. But what does the Srimad Bhagavatam say? That you cannot call Krishna. Krishna has descended to call you. You cannot call him. Krishna has descended to call you. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam is telling. He is so merciful. Out of mercy, he has descended to this world. You cannot go there to the spiritual world and just start to serve. Can you go to Vrindavan, to Gokul, or Svetadvip, Navadvip Dhaman, the spiritual world? Or just start to serve? Huh? No. And can you call him? But the Krishna of the Srimad Bhagavatam is so merciful that he took his flute and he descended to this earth. He descended to Vrindavan, calling to all, come on, come on, come on. This is how merciful Krishna is. So the real guru says, you need only give me your ears. I do not want your wealth or anything else. I only want to purify your ears. And through the medium of your ears, I will put something in your heart that will make you happy forever. Gurudev is telling this to all the devotees. Because he's that real guru who can do that. He says, transcendental happiness, it will come to you if you give me your ears. Through the medium of your ears, I will put something in your heart that will make you happy forever. So transcendental happiness, it will come to you. And besides this, there is no other process by which you will be happy. No. You are crying for Krishna, but your crying has no power. How are you crying? Oh, the following story is an example of this. How you're crying. Oh yeah, tears coming, crying. But how are you crying? Now Gurudev is telling a story. Once, there was a very beautiful and very powerful Srimad Bhagavatam class. It was in progress, and many devotees were present. Now the person who was speaking the Harikatha had a long beard and long hair, like you see on all the billboards surrounding Vrindavan. You know, this Bhagavad Sapta, long hair, long beard. Bhagavad Sapta, long hair, beautiful clothing, manicured, but no beard, like this. So in this case, Gurudev is saying a very beautiful Srimad Bhagavatam class was going on. Many devotees were present, and the speaker of Harikatha had a long beard, long hair, which was quite white color. White. Why? Because old. Huh? And he was saying so many things. He was saying this and that. And everyone was very attentively hearing. Then an old lady was also sitting there. And she was weeping and weeping. Her tears were falling constantly. And when the Sadhu Baba finished the class, those who had attended, they gradually left, but that lady remained there. So he called to her, "Oh mother, you are a very high-class devotee. My Harikatha has touched your heart. Why are you weeping? So bitterly you're weeping." Do you know why? Huh? So then as he was telling this to her, her weeping increased. And then she replied, "Baba, Baba, what can I say? I had a male goat." Yes. What's the word for goat? Eziol. Kadziol. So she's saying, I had a male goat. He was so strong. He had a long beard just like yours. Sometimes I would give him something to eat, and he happily ate. And his beard was moving in a way that is very similar to yours when you speak. So Baba, when you tell Harikatha, I always remember that goat. But he was stolen from me, and I do not know what to do. I am weeping for that goat. So Gurudev is telling that our calling to Krishna, it's like this. It's like this. It may seem like a semblance of pure chanting, but actually it is not even a semblance. It is a pratibimba, like a reflection. Our hankering should be pure. So at this stage, we cannot have that kind of a sincere prayer. We cannot. Our prayers should be in a mood of separation. That is the mood that our prayers should be. And from the core of our heart. Krishna has this mood. Krishna, he has this mood 10 million times more than us. He is weeping for us. He is the Father of all fathers. He is the beloved of all beloveds. With much love and affection for us, he thinks, having forgotten me, they are suffering so greatly. They cannot come to me. They cannot even call me by weeping bitterly. And their hearts are not melting. So therefore, I must go to them. And this is why Krishna descended with his flute and with all his beauty. He took the essence of all beauty and he descended. He is calling us, but we do not hear him. So try to realize this. Okay. Now, Gurudev is quoting a verse from the 10th canto, 29th chapter, verse number 3. Drishtva kumudvantam akanda mandalam. What chapter is this? The This is the Ras Lila chapter. And this is the beginning of that chapter. Drishtva kumudvantam akanda mandalam ramananabam navakunkumarunam vanam chatat komalagobhi ranjitam jago kalam vamadrisham manoharam. Lord Krishna saw the unbroken disk of the full moon glowing with the red effulgence of newly applied vermilion, as if it were the face of the goddess of fortune. He also saw the kumud, the lotuses, opening in response to the moon's presence, and the forest gently illumined by its rays. So thus the Lord began to play sweetly on his flute, attracting the minds of the beautiful-eyed gopis. So Gurudev is saying that Krishna took his flute and he called the gopis by playing what? Kling. Kling. That is what is told here in this verse. Jago kalam vamadrisham manoharam. Is hidden in that is the word kling. So now Krishna took his flute and he called the gopis by playing kling. Now we are not so qualified, however. We cannot hear this sound, nor can we call him. This is why he came in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is both Radha and Krishna, only to call us. So for this reason, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled here and there and he took sannyas. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd shloka, 113, which we already read the other day, Nigamakalpataror galitam phalam Shukamukad amrita drava samyutam Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka. So here, this verse is telling that Krishna is like a fruit. A nigamakalpataror. That means the fruit of the desire tree of the Vedic literature. And that fruit that comes on that tree, Krishna is like that. That fruit has no skin, it has no pit, it has no stringy fiber. In Krishna there is nothing besides rasa. He was brought through the Guru Parampara by Sri Sukadev Goswami and has descended to this world to call us. What is he calling? He is saying, do not suffer, be happy, be blessed by transcendental happiness. This Guru Parampara, in the line of Sukadev Goswami, is calling to us this message. Do not suffer, be happy, be blessed by transcendental happiness. But we are not qualified even to desire transcendental happiness. You know, chant and be happy. Srila Prabhupada lecture. Then they made this book, small little book. We used to pass it out by the thousands. Chant and be happy. So this is their message. They're giving this message to us. Yes. Even though we're not even qualified. But they are telling to us, giving the message, coming across the oceans and saying, do not suffer. Be happy. Be blessed by transcendental happiness. So that's why that mantra card, it gave me that message. You see? Your life will be sublime. Please chant this transcendental sound vibration and your life will be sublime. So they got that from Srila Prabhupada, because he was telling that to everyone. Chant and be happy. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Now the Srimad Bhagavatam, it asks the question to all the other Vedas, to the Upanishads, the Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, and so on. What does the Srimad Bhagavatam ask the question of? Kamva dayalum sharanam brajema. Kamva dayalum sharanam brajema. This is spoken by Uddhav in the 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, verse 23. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam jigamsaya payayad apyasadvi lebe gatim datri uchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam brajema. So Uddhav is absorbed in separation mood, and he met Vidura on the road. And they had a conversation. And Uddhava didn't directly tell why he's in this mood, but he began to reminisce about Krishna, about his pastimes in Braj and everything. And then he stated this verse, Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam. So he's telling, alas, how shall I take shelter of anyone more merciful? Is there any other person as merciful as this person, Krishna? How did he prove his mercy? Because to the demoness, the she-demon Putana, she wanted to kill him. She put poison on her breast to kill him. And although she was unfaithful, she prepared this deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. But what did Krishna accept from her? Her mood of being a mother and giving her breast to him to suck. Who could be more merciful than this Krishna? That's the question being asked here. How could I ever kamvadayalum sharanam brajem? How could I ever take shelter of anyone as merciful as this Krishna? So Gurudev is telling that the demon Putana, she was accustomed. It was her daily affair to do what? To eat the flesh and fresh blood of babies everywhere. Now, do you think that there are no such persons still living in this world? If you think that, you have been completely illusioned. Because these Rakshasas do this. That's how they live. And Prabhupada said the whole world is being ruled by very powerful Rakshasa, man-eating demons and demonesses. And how do we know this? Because they have a huge, gigantic industry that they even started called adrenochrome, which is the blood of children that have been tortured, and in that blood comes certain adrenal from their glands, and these people drink it. It's a very expensive drug, and it's one of the most powerful drugs ever. And they drink that. This person, Putana, that's what she was. She was a Rakshashi. She ate the flesh and the blood of babies anywhere. So when she went to kill baby Krishna, however, what did he do to her? He gave her a spiritual body. He sent her to Goloka, which is even greater than Vaikunta. And therefore we should try to serve Krishna. Because he's so merciful. Who is as merciful as that? So we should try to serve Krishna. And we should try to hear about him. We should become qualified by taking shelter of any qualified devotee or guru. Without such a guru, we cannot make advancement. The Shastras have stated that all humans want happiness and that they want to meet with Krishna. That is stated in the Shastras. But the Bhagavatam tells us that Bhagavan wants the jiva. That's what Bhagavatam is telling. Bhagavan wants you, the jiva. All Shastras have stated that when Krishna went to Mathura, the gopis were feeling separation. When Krishna left, gopis were feeling intense separation. But you know what the gopis did in the Shastras, written by Rupa Goswami? The gopis sent a swan, Hamsa, to Mathura to let Krishna know how they were suffering in their separation from him. That is called Hamsa Duta, the swan messenger. But the Srimad Bhagavatam says something else. What? Krishna was suffering. Krishna was suffering so much that he had to send Uddhava, his messenger, to Vrindavan. Do you understand? Gurudev is asking. The gopis did not send any messenger. Krishna sent one. Generally we hear that it is the bhakta that is always suffering, weeping, feeling separation, and hankering for Bhagavan. We generally hear that. But the Srimad Bhagavatam says the opposite. That Krishna is hankering for his devotees always. Yeah. And Krishna is always calling, "Oh Mother, oh Mother." When Brahma stole the Krishna's cowherd boys, and Krishna searched for them, and Krishna is searching for us also. But we are so unqualified that we cannot hear his flute, or we cannot call out to him with our heart. That's how unqualified we are. Although we should try to call to him with our heart. But although we should try, we can only really call out when our heart is empty. And when we have taken the shelter of an exalted devotee. Only then, when our heart is empty, and we have taken shelter of an exalted devotee, then we can try to call out. So, Gurudev is saying that earlier means at the beginning of the week. He said, earlier I asked 5 or 6 questions. My first question was Vraja, Vrindavan, Gokul, other places in Brajabhumi, they are all filled with the highest love and affection. And Vrindavan is itself, it is rasa. Vrindavan is rasa. So the question is, why did Krishna leave Vrindavan and go to Mathura and Dwarka? Just as Krishna is the ocean of rasa himself, so similarly Vrindavan is also the ocean of rasa. But still, Krishna left Vrindavan. Why? That's the first question. Second question. If he left, there must have been a cause. So if we go anywhere for a special purpose, then we return when the purpose is satisfied. Right? Similarly, Krishna left Vrindavan for a special reason. What is that? After Kamsa was killed, then he should have returned to Vrindavan. But he never returned. Why? What is the answer? Question number 2. Then Gurudev says that everyone wants to live in that place where he receives the most love and affection. Isn't that true? That everyone really wants to live where they feel that they're receiving love and affection the most. They don't want to live everyone wants to live in the place where he receives the most love and affection, not where he tastes a lower kind of love and affection. For example, if you are eating a rasgulla and someone offers you an Indian gur, unrefined sugar, or something similar to eat in its place, but you're eating a rasgulla, so you'll not accept it. You will want to taste the rasgulla only. So why did Krishna, who was perfectly loved by the gopis, by Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba and others, why did he leave quickly one day and never return? So the third question is that even if Krishna did not return with the intention of staying in Braj forever, why didn't he visit from time to time? What would have been the harm? If someone comes to America from India to make money, and then he can still go to India from time to time to meet his relatives. So why did Krishna not go to meet with his relatives, his father and his mother? He should have gone, but he did not go at all. He sent a messenger. Why did he not go himself? A messenger cannot do what Krishna can do. Krishna knew that by sending a messenger, then the Brajavasis would not be satisfied. He knew that. He knew that they will only be satisfied if I go there. But still, he sent the messenger with a letter from him, for carrying a letter from him to them. And he told the messenger, you should give this sandesh, this message to them. So what is that book called by Rupa Goswami? Uddhav Sandesh. Hansa Duta and Uddhav Sandesh. So Gurudev is saying that even if there were a very important reason for Krishna's not returning, there must have been some way that he could have called all the Brijvasis to Mathura or to Dwarka. There was no lack of space there. There was so much space. Krishna can do anything. He can supply all the houses, boarding, everything else needed, just as he did when he hosted all the Mathuravasis. He could have brought all the Brijvasis there in the same way. And he could have remained in Dwarka or Mathura with them. So why did he not bring them? If you want to know all the answers to all these questions, you will have to go deep into the Srimad Bhagavatam with any self-realized devotee who has served his Gurudev and the devotees, and who has also served Bhagavatam with Bhagavatam. What's the meaning? One must serve Bhagavatam with Bhakta Bhagavat, the person Bhagavat, because that Mahabhagavat has the lock and the key to understanding the Bhagavatam. Although we want all of our queries, all of our questions to be satisfied, but how can this happen when we do not want to serve any Mahabhagwat or give honor to all others? How can it be satisfied? Still, Krishna is so merciful that he sends to this world his devotees of various kinds, like the Siksha Guru and the Diksha Guru, and he says to them, when Krishna is sending these devotees to this world, he says to them, "Oh, you go and give them some answers so that they also may become pure devotees." So now Gurudev says, we will now explain the answers to our questions. First question was, why did Krishna leave Vrindavan? I explained one reason. I explained the Leela at Prem Sarovara, where Krishna was very worried. He was thinking that when the gopis are with me, they feel an intense mood of separation in anticipation of the future. So in Mahabhav, in Prem Vaichitya, they become as though they are lifeless. So you cannot imagine all these feelings and how the gopis' heart was burning in the fire of separation. On considering the gopis' burning heart, Krishna thought, if I leave Vrindavan, they will still feel separation. But in that type of separation, they will meet with me in a dream or in another way. They will see a tamal tree and they will embrace it as though it were me. They will think, oh, we are meeting with Krishna, and then they will become happy. They will again take their meals and decorate themselves. So therefore, I must leave Braj. This is the thinking that Krishna had at Prem Sarovara. We'll go there. Prem Sarovara, where Srimati Radhika is sitting directly on the lap of Krishna, and Madhu Mangal sees that there's a bumblebee buzzing around Srimati Radhika's face, because her face is full of sweetness. So then Madhu Mangal comes in with his cloth, he starts to chase after the bumblebee, and he chases him far away. Then he comes back and he says, I have chased Madhusudana far away, and he will not return. But when Radhika heard the name Madhusudan, she didn't think of the bumblebee. She thought of Krishna. And she thought that Krishna, he'll not return. And even though she's sitting directly on Krishna's lap, she went into this deep, deep state of separation mood. And Krishna could see he cannot appease her mood. He cannot tell her, I'm here. Why are you feeling separation? So it is this reason that Krishna came to the conclusion that when I'm not with the gopis, they become very happy. Why? Because they see in the tree, the tamal tree, that this is me. They see in the clouds. They're continually reminded about me, and in that deep mood of Prem Vaichitya, they take that the tree is directly Krishna, and they become so happy. So he said, now their prem has come so high that I cannot do anything to appease that. So therefore, I must leave Braja. So then Gurudev says that it is true that everyone wants to be where there is plenty of ananda, of happiness. No one wants to go to a place where there is less happiness and less love and affection. But this is not the nature of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His nature is somewhat different. He has hundreds of thousands of devotees everywhere. Some of the devotees in Mathura were given great suffering by Kamsa. In fact, Devaki and Vasudeva had been suffering from the very day of their marriage ceremony. And after that, after their marriage, 8 sons were born to them, including Krishna. And in this way, about 8 years passed. After that, an additional 10 years and 8 months passed, because Krishna lived in Braj for that long period. Therefore, it may be that Vasudeva and Devaki were being tortured by Kamsa for about 19 years. So many persons left Mathura to live here and there. And those who remained, they were always weeping and suffering. So how could Krishna neglect them? How could he just neglect? He could not neglect them. He certainly cared for them also. So if he did not care for them, then he would not be all merciful. But he's all merciful. Now the Pandavas were also weeping. Kunti was crying to Krishna to come and help them. Draupadi had also called to him crying, "Oh, I am going to be put to shame in front of everyone." Her hands were upraised. She had bitterly called out, "Oh Govinda, I am totally surrendered to you." She closed her eyes and she thought, whatever will happen, will happen. So the Pandavas, Draupadi, Kunti, they were all crying. So under these circumstances, how can Krishna play in Ras Leela at Vamshivat in Vrindavan? He also has to save Draupadi. And if any bhakta calls him anywhere in this world, he cannot remain aloof. If he were to do so, then he would have to give up his name Bhakta Vatsalya. He who gives mercy to his devotees. So he has to take care of all the devotees, even though he is tasting so much ras in Vrindavan. That is also why he went to Mathura. So Gurudev is giving these different reasons. And there is something more, Gurudev said. Krishna has promised, Yeyata mam prapadyante, tam stataiva bhajamyaham. This is Krishna's statement in Bhagavad Gita. This is in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse 11. So there, Krishna is declaring that according to the service rendered to me by my devotees, I will have to repay them. So in other words, I reciprocate. So, but then when Krishna saw that the gopis praying to him and what they gave up for him was so extreme, then Krishna realized, only the gopis. I cannot keep my promise to them that I will reciprocate equally. But to all others, yes, he could keep his promise. But to the gopis, it was not at all possible. So there are surely no comparison between any devotee in the entire world and the Brijvasis. No one can compare to Mother Yashoda, Subal, Sridham, gopis such as Lalita, Vishaka. There is no comparison. But on the other hand, Devaki and Vasudeva, they had also performed very severe austerities in their past births, as Sutapa and Prishni. They kept their head on the ground and they stood on one hand while keeping their feet high in the air. They remained without breathing any air or drinking any water during the heat of summer, the cold of winter, the rainy season, and so on. They continued doing this for more than 60,000 years. Dhruva had practiced his austerities for 6 months, and during the last month, he fasted even from air. But Sutapa and Prishni, they did far more than 60,000 years. So now, in the form of Vasudeva and Devaki, they were calling to Krishna. So would Krishna not have heard them? He must have heard. So this was another reason that Krishna had to go to Mathura. Now I will answer the second question, Gurudev says. If Krishna fulfilled his reason for coming, which was to save Vasudeva and Devaki and to kill Kansa, then he should have returned to Vrindavan when he had done that. But how could he? How could he return? All the Yadavasis, the Mathuravasis, they had scattered due to fear of Kansa, and the whole kingdom was in disorder. And Krishna therefore gave the kingdom to Ugrasen Maharaj, and he made him the king. But Ugrasen was very old and powerless, so Krishna himself had to manage the affairs of the kingdom. And there were 2 wives of Kansa, Asti and Prapti. So there were 2 wives of Kansa, Asti and Prapti. And they went to their father Jarasandha, a very big demon who was even more powerful than Kansa. He was more powerful than Duryodhan and all others. And they told him that his son-in-law Kansa had been killed by Krishna for no reason. He was innocent. And they claimed that Kansa had simply been sitting on the throne when all of a sudden Krishna jumped up, grabbed him, and killed him without any cause. So Jarasandha became very unhappy to hear this. And therefore, he took his soldiers, numbering more than those in the Mahabharata army, millions upon millions, and he invaded Mathura. Not only once, 18 times. So Krishna thus decided, oh, if I were to go to Braja, then what would happen? Everyone there would be killed by Jarasandha. So he could not go there. He wanted to go, but he considered that if Jarasandha became aware of this, then Jarasandha would think, oh, all the Brajbasis are truly loved by Krishna. They are so dear to him, so I must smash Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, there were no soldiers, no army, no fort, no protection at all. And the Brajbasis are not warriors. They are very innocent. They simply graze the cows. And Jarasandha would have been able to come and smash all of Vrindavan in just one day. So Nanda Baba, he did know this fact. So when Krishna met with him after killing Kansa, he whispered in his ear, "Do not be upset. I will come. After destroying Jarasandha and all the other demons, I will come. I must. But if I come now, Jarasandha will come to know. And after a while, his soldiers will attack the Brajbasis, and everything in Vrindavan will be destroyed. I'll not be able to save you." So there is no fort there, no army, nothing. And there was yet another reason why Krishna did not return to Vrindavan. Vasudeva and Devaki knew very well that a person who goes elsewhere to perform a job or a duty, then they will return to their original place when the duty is completed. So similarly, if Krishna, who came from Vrindavan, if he were to have returned to Vrindavan, he would never have gone back to Mathura and Dwarka. But if Krishna were to say, I am going to Indraprastha, I am going to Mithila, I am going here and there. So Vasudeva and Devaki would never object. And they would say, all right, you may go, return very quickly. But if Krishna had requested permission from Devaki and Vasudeva to quickly go to Vrindavan and then return, they would have become very worried and they would have wept. They would not have responded at all. And they would not have given permission. Why not? Why would Vasudeva and Devaki not give permission if Krishna told them? So now Gurudev's explaining the answer. He's saying that Vrindavan is Rasamai Bhumi. Rasamai Bhumi, the land of eternal loving relationships. And Devaki and Vasudeva, they knew that Krishna would not be going there to complete any duty or job, and that if he went, he would have become totally absorbed in ras. Krishna is himself ras, and all the gopas and the gopis are also ras. So therefore he would not return. If Krishna were to ask, may I go to Vrindavan? Then Devaki and Vasudeva would have begun to weep bitterly. Not only Devaki and Vasudeva would weep, but all the Mathuravasis would also weep, and they would feel that they would die that very day. And this is why he could not go to Vrindavan, even though he sometimes wanted to go. Okay? If Krishna had gone to Vrindavan every now and then and met with the Brijvasis, he could have easily returned, because Vrindavan is only a distance of 2 fingers from Mathura. The 2 places are so near that they border each other. And besides this, if he wanted to, he could have even gone to Goloka Vrindavan, to Mithila or Dwarka in a moment. So then why could he not travel an hour or 2 to Vrindavan? He never went. Why? If he had gone back for even a moment, the separation mood of the gopas and the gopis would have increased hundreds of thousands of times, and it would never subside. Why? If there is a flame in a lamp, it may be extinguished by a little bit of wind. But if a fire is very big, like a forest fire, can it be extinguished by the wind? No. Instead, the wind will increase the fire more and more. So the fire of separation in the hearts of the gopis and gopas is like this. It is not like the very little flame from a ghee lamp, which dwindles. If you put a frying pan on a stove, so the frying pan becomes reddish. And if at that time you put 1 drop of water on it, then what happens? If that water splashes on you anywhere, you'll be burned. So the fire of the mood of separation in Vrindavan, it is like this. If Krishna were to have gone there for a moment or for 1 or 2 days, then the Brijvasis would have burned more. And after he had left again, they would have died at once. So for this reason also, he does not return to Vrindavan. So that'll be the reading for today. We will resume on Sunday. Today is Thursday. So on Sunday, which is Sunday is 29th. Today is 26th. So we'll complete this chapter on Sunday. We will be reading the opposing moods of Mathura and Vrindavan. That's the topic. We'll be reading about how the moods of the Mathura and Vrindavan are opposing. And then Gurudev will complete his katha by saying that how can we understand all these elevated topics that he just spoke for 7 days? How can we understand those? And that will end Gurudev's lecture. And after that, we will have another class on the following Tuesday, which will be the 1st, Tuesday the 1st. And again on Thursday, the 3rd, and again on Sunday, the 6th. And that day, Sunday, will also be the day that that Gopinath Gaudiya Math is celebrating the 126th appearance day of Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. So that is followed by the Mat on the 6th. But here it's saying that the 7th is also that day, which would be Monday. So, and the 8th, which is Tuesday, is the day that I'm flying to Vrindavan. So these will be the final classes. So there will be Sunday, and then next week Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday again. That's it. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and this Sunday. So that's 4 more classes before I go. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Jai Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Jai Srila Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Secret truths of the Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satya Vachai Namo Namaha Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glory to the assembled devotees. Vsia slava subhravhyam sia priyadanim.